Good afternoon, everyone. This is Corey here with Zero Meter Chasers. I'm going to give a quick update on what is going on outside right now and what to expect for the remainder of the evening. So before we get started, I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. So if you just let me know in the comments if everything sounds good, make sure there's no background noise, anything like that. Make sure the mic is good. Just let me know if everything's good to go before we get started. From my end, everything looks good. Just wanted to get some feedback from you guys before we get started. Okay, got some comments coming through. Appreciate that. And if you guys don't care, again, the number one thing here at Zero Meter Chasers is to keep everybody updated with the latest situation. So if you guys don't care to give this stream a share, it'd be much appreciated. So real quickly, zooming out here. This is what we look like regionally from a radar perspective. Not really anything going on here in the central Kentucky area or western Kentucky area. This purple area you see here highlighted over here in western Kentucky, western Tennessee, parts of Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, this purple area. That is a PDS tornado watch. And that means that is a particularly dangerous situation. These are pretty rare. Here's a better look at that tornado watch. Again, this is portions of western Kentucky, western Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois. So if you know anybody that lives in western Kentucky, make sure they are aware of this PDS tornado watch. This could potentially be a very dangerous evening for some of these folks. This will be areas such as Mayfield, Clarksville. It's not technically in that watch, but just outside of it. Hopkinsville, Madisonville, down into Tennessee, you're looking areas such as Jackson, Ripley, Memphis, those type areas, Polar Bluff in Missouri. So basically anybody in western Kentucky, please make sure they are aware of the severe weather situation that is about to unfold heading into this evening. Right now, all is quiet. Nothing going on in western Kentucky, but I'm going to show you guys simulated radar here in just a second. That way you guys will have an idea of what the radar is expected to look like here as we head into this evening, into tonight. That way you guys will have a better idea of what to expect, okay? Back to the current radar real quickly. The only thing we have going on right now is we have some storm activity ongoing up here in the just to the west of Louisville. Now this little circle that you see right here, this is a new tool on WeatherWise. It's an AI tool that is designed to kind of find these areas of rotation before a tornado really develops. So there is an area of rotation. This is going to be just to the east of Milltown in Indiana. This is going to, let me zoom out here just a little bit. This is going to be going just to the north of Louisville. So Louisville does not look to be impacted, but if you live just north of Louisville, be aware that there is a severe thunderstorm warning, and this severe thunderstorm warning is moving to the east, and it does have a little bit of rotation with it. So just be in mind with that. The National Weather Service has also circled this area. You see this area that is circled here. This is called a mesoscale discussion. Let me see what that says. I haven't actually read it. They just put this out right before the stream started. So real quickly, let me check out that one real quick. National Weather Storm Prediction Center is stating, as soon as I can get it pulled up here, that a low-end severe potential may linger through early evening across this area before an increased risk later tonight. So basically they're saying that isolated severe thunderstorms, low-end potential, nothing really significant, but there is a low-end potential for some severe storms in this area before the severe risk increases later tonight. So nothing overly concerning there. So let's get into what we're expected to see tonight. Again, this is what everybody's waiting on right here, the window for thunderstorm arrival late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And for the majority of central Kentucky, we continue to be in this blue region. This is the timeline from the National Weather Service. We continue to be in this blue region. We're looking at storms to move into portions of western Kentucky, portions of central Kentucky, portions all the way up to eastern Kentucky, anywhere between 12 to 3 a.m. It looks like this line's going to be moving from the northwest to the southeast. So 12 to 3 a.m. This is going to be early tomorrow morning, so early Tuesday morning. These storms could move in a little bit earlier. Say from areas such up from Paducah up to Henderson up to Louisville, 8 p.m. to midnight. And then over here in eastern Kentucky, Lake Cumberland region, those type areas, 3 to 6 a.m. Eastern time. So this is kind of the time frame that we're looking at for storms to arrive in Kentucky. So real quickly, if you know where you live, look where you're at on the map. It has the timeline for you at the top left-hand corner there. But more importantly, let's jump over to the simulated radar. This is really going to give everybody a better idea of what to expect and what the radar is going to look like, or could potentially look like, as we head into this evening. So this is the latest Futurecast simulated radar, whatever you want to call it. This is currently what's going on about right now, which is about right. It has storm activity just to the north of Louisville. Storm activity ongoing in the southern Indiana region. So that's pretty much spot on of what's going on right now. This is 6 o'clock Central Time. We start to see this is what we're going to be watching. Okay, these storms that you see over here in western Kentucky, near Paducah, near Evansville. These storms that form out ahead of the main line, these are going to be your storms that's going to have the best potential to produce anything tornadic. So we're going to be watching these storms very closely. We're going to be watching radar very closely to see how everything evolves and how everything develops, okay? But this is the area that has the best chance for any type of tornadic potential. And so if these storms develop and they start to become tornadic, they could produce, some of these areas has the potential to produce strong tornadoes in western Kentucky. Now, I know a lot of my followers, a lot of my viewers are here in central Kentucky. I'm not as concerned of a tornado threat here in central Kentucky. We are more than likely going to have a couple isolated tornadoes in central Kentucky. I do not want anybody to let their guard down. In setups like this, we see it all the time. We have this line of severe thunderstorms, strong to severe storms moving to the east. We almost always have quick spin-up tornadoes along that line. So do not want anybody to let their guard down, okay? But this is 6 o'clock Central Time on the simulated radar. As we progress into the 7, 8 o'clock p.m. time frame, 9 o'clock, you see these storms still developing. There's one near Clarksville, one just north of Bowling Green. We'll take it back just a little bit. One just near the Hopkinsville area. Any of these isolated storms you guys see popping up on the simulated radar here, any of these storms is going to have the potential to become tornadic and produce tornadoes, okay? So that's what we're watching. That's why there's a PDS watch out for western Kentucky. We get in closer to 9 o'clock. This is 10 o'clock. Again, you're starting to see these isolated cells out ahead of the line. One near Bowling Green, one near E-Town. Now, again, the best tornado ingredients is going to be in western Kentucky. So even though we're seeing these isolated cells ahead of the main line here in central Kentucky, the ingredients is still off to the west. The best ingredients, I should say. But you see this line. It's right near the Illinois Kentucky border, Indiana-Kentucky border. This is 11 o'clock Central, midnight. And then as that line, as we progress later on into the night, this is midnight Central, 1 o'clock Eastern. You see this line is completely in the state of Kentucky. Lots of strong thunderstorm activity along and ahead of this line. This is 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Central. And then that's where that line really blows through the rest of central Kentucky. Again, this is 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern is when we're expected to see this line move through the majority of central Kentucky. So It's going to be a long night of potential severe weather. So I want to make sure everybody is aware this is a nighttime event. Okay, make sure you have ways to receive warnings. Make sure you have somebody to watch. Again, I've said it 1,000 times. You don't have to watch me if you don't want to. You can watch somebody else. There's plenty of trusted sources here in Kentucky that's going to give you almost the same information that I'm going to. Of course, we'd love for you to watch here our channels, but the goal here is to keep everybody safe. So no matter what, doesn't matter who you watch, make sure you have somebody that you're going to watch, somebody that you trust, somebody that's going to keep you updated with the weather as we progress into tonight. Because again, we see this several times throughout the year where we have this line. Again, I've said it 1,000 times. We have a line that moves through west to east. It produces wind damage. It produces isolated tornadoes. Again, Western Kentucky is under the gun for a significant tornado threat through this evening. So if you live in Western Kentucky, again, this is going to be well to the west of Bowling Green, basically from Clarksville up to Hopkinsville up to Muhlenberg County, areas like that, points off to the west. That's going to be the best potential to see the potential for significant tornadoes. The rest of central Kentucky, we're looking at damaging wind potential, straight line winds, isolated tornadoes. More than likely, we will see a quick spin-up tornado. That line moves off to the east relatively quickly. This is 5 o'clock. This is sunrise. Everything's pretty much cleared off. And then, again, we're going to have a chance for another round of severe weather tomorrow evening into tomorrow night as well. So I don't want anybody to forget about that one as well. We're going to have a second round of severe weather tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, okay? So what I'm going to show you guys here is the Storm Prediction Center outlook. Let me take off some of these warnings and stuff. I want to give everybody an update on what we're looking at as far as the latest information from the Storm Prediction Center. Let me take off that real quick. Let's see here. Almost. Maybe. Hang on. Let's see here. Here we go. All right. So, this is the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook. As you can see, this red area over here to our west does include portions of Western Kentucky. This is the moderate risk area level 4. This is the area that's going to have the best potential to see any type of significant severe weather, including significant tornadoes, okay? We zoom in just a little bit more here into Western Kentucky. And let's go to the tornado potential here real quick. So anybody in this yellow area, this is going to be the area that has the best potential to see significant tornadoes. So your Mayfield, Murray, Benton, up to Madisonville, Morganfield, Owensboro I would include, Evansville, Indiana, these type areas, Paducah included as well. That's the area that has the best potential to see any type of significant tornadoes. Hopkinsville, Russellville, Greenville, Hartford, Hardinsburg, these areas as well in Western Kentucky is also going to have the risk for the potential for a few significant tornadoes. But the best chance is going to be over here in this yellow area. And then as we zoom out, you guys see how the tornado threat decreases as we move to the east. So this is why I've said this 1,000 times today. The best chance for any type of tornadic activity is going to be in Western Kentucky, roughly where that tornado watch is issued, which is right here in this area. So basically west of Bowling Green, that's the area that has the best potential for tornadic activity. Not really a huge tornado threat here in central Kentucky. I don't want to keep beating a dead horse here, but more than likely there will be a couple isolated tornadoes here in the central Kentucky area. So that's going to be the secondary threat. The wind threat is going to be the primary threat here for central Kentucky. Again, same situation. Storms are going to be more severe in western Kentucky, and as that line progresses to the east, it's going to be in a weakening phase, but still going to be able to pack a punch, okay? So Western Kentucky, same deal. Best chance for damaging winds. We get into the west central part of the state, which is basically from Hopkinsville to Bowling Green, that type area. This is the red area you see here. Again, you're going to see the Storm Prediction Center has this a 30% risk, so a 30 to 44% chance of seeing damaging winds in this red area. And this yellow area is a 15 to 29% chance of seeing wind damage. So still not a super high wind threat, but there will be a wind threat here in central Kentucky nonetheless. And then as we get into eastern Kentucky, that line weakens even more so than what it was before. Not really looking at a huge severe threat in eastern Kentucky at all. Okay. So I want to look at a couple more things here real quick, and then I will answer questions. I want to make sure that everybody is aware of the safety for nighttime tornadoes. Again, I talk about this all the time. This is going to be a nighttime event, so we want to make sure that we are aware of what to do when severe weather strikes at night, okay? No weather radio. If you have one, make sure it's on. Make sure you're able to get those alerts as we head into tonight, okay? Make sure you know where your safe place is. If there's a tornado warning issue, you want to be able to get to your safe zone as quickly as possible. So know where that's at in your home. Make sure you go over that with the people inside your household. If you got kids, make sure they know, hey, if you get woke up in the middle of the night, you know, from mom and dad, whoever, make sure they know where to go in that situation. Cell phone, make sure it's turned on, make sure it's charged, make sure your wireless emergency alerts are enabled. If you have those enabled, if there's a tornado warning issued, you guys know what it sounds like. You'll get one of those pings on your phone where it scares the whole house. That's important because it will wake you up if a tornado warning is issued and you don't know it. Flashlight and shoes. I talk about it all the time. Shoes are important. Have those beside your bed. Again, you're thinking worst case scenario. What if a tornado strikes your location? You want to be able to have shoes on in case there's debris, something like that around. You don't want to hurt yourself if there happens to be debris or something like that. You don't want to be stepping on that. Shoes are important. Flashlight. In case electricity goes off, you got a flashlight on standby, ready to rock as well. So a couple safety tips there, not safety tits. It's going to be a long night. Rainfall forecast. I know a lot of people have asked about the rainfall. The rainfall forecast has actually increased just a little bit. So along in I-65 into the west, 2 to 3 inches of rain expected by Wednesday morning. And then here in the central Kentucky area, 1.5 inches up to 2 inches. So things are definitely looking better on the rainfall threat. That's going to help our drought, okay? So with that being said, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. We're going to go back to the tornado watch that is in effect. This is the only watch that we have in effect right now, okay? So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. I know a lot of people's going to ask 1,000 questions on what time. So again, timing. I'll go ahead and pull the timing up because I know everybody's going to ask, what time is it going to affect this location? Here is the timing. This is from the National Weather Service. Please know what your county looks like. It's very, very important, not only for a day-to-day basis of just everyday life, but wherever you live, Google it, go on your phone, look up whatever county you live in. I live in Greene County. It looks like a ham. So it's right here in the middle. Taylor County looks like a heart. Make sure you know what your county looks like. Find it on the map. This is what time the storms is expected to reach your location. Okay? All right, so let's answer a few questions. Again, not going to stay super long. I'm going to try to get another, say, hour power nap before we get into tonight because we'll probably be doing live coverage for several hours if not 4 or 5 hours plus tonight. Okay, so I want to be able to have that energy for you guys as we head into tonight specifically. Peggy, yes, the again same thing that I've talked about for a couple of days. Yes, the line of storms is going to be in a weakening phase, but I still think they're going to be able to pack a punch. So I still expect, even in the Columbia area, to see the potential for damaging winds, even though it's a lower threat than, say, western Kentucky or the western part of central Kentucky. Still going to have the potential for damaging winds, still going to have the potential for an isolated tornado. Same thing for you, Anthony. So Peggy and Anthony, that question was for you guys together. Hail threat. Great question there, Beth. I did not cover the hail threat. Let me pull that up here real quick because it's very, very low on the hail threat. Here is the hail threat, Beth. Thank you for bringing that up. Very, very low hail threat. The best chance for hail is going to be in the western Kentucky area as well. The Hopkinsville, Madisonville, Paducah, Murray, Clarksville, Tennessee, Owensboro, Evansville, Indiana, those type areas. Basically from Bowling Green over to our neck of the woods here in the Green, Taylor County area. It's a 2 to 5% chance for large hail. So very, very, very low threat for large hail. Still, it's possible. There's a potential that we could see a storm with, quarter-size hail or something like that, but we're not looking at a big hail threat at all. Thank you, Beth. Appreciate that, bringing that up there. Bring the timing back up. See if I got any more questions here. Tara, wind speeds, as far as what the damaging winds, are expected. We're probably looking at 60 miles an hour in most cases, up to 70 miles an hour. Probably not a good idea, Carrie, just to be safe. I always lean on the side of caution. Better safe than sorry. So being in a camper tonight, probably not the best of ideas, just to be safe. Louisville, Sean, is in that level 2 out of 5 risk. That line is going to be in a weakening phase by the time it reaches Louisville, but still, same scenario for Louisville. Still expected to see damaging winds as the main threat, 60, maybe up to 70 mile an hour winds, just depending on how strong that line is, and an isolated tornado possible in Louisville as well. Jenny, tornado probability for Metcalfe County is also lower, but still, isolated tornado is possible. Blake, yes, severe weather tomorrow afternoon is on the table as well. April, I think they will be similar in nature as far as tonight and tomorrow night. I think they will be somewhat similar. I think tonight's probably a little bit stronger here, especially here in central Kentucky. But as far as central Kentucky specifically, I think tonight's storms and tomorrow's storms will be similar. Now, obviously, if you're in western Kentucky, tonight's will be way stronger than what tomorrow's will be. No real change for Russell County, Jenny. Still the same thing for last night. Again, line's going to be in a weakening phase. We're looking at damaging winds being the main threat, probably around 60 miles an hour. If it gets that strong, isolated tornado is still possible. No problem, Vern. Appreciate that. Appreciate you guys tuning in from Russell County. Definitely appreciate that. Fisher, Somerset is going to be, more into eastern Kentucky. So that line's really going to be in a weakened phase by the time it reaches you. Still the potential for 60 mile an hour winds. Cannot rule out an isolated tornado, but both of those threats are even lower than what central Kentucky is. rainfall totals for Central Kentucky. Sean, let me pull that up here real quick. There's the rainfall forecast. Central Kentucky is going to be ranging anywhere between 1.5 inches up to 3 inches. 2 to 3 inches was going to be more, along and west of I-65. And then from I-65 to I-75, you're looking at 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Hello, April. Thank you for tuning in. Logan County, we're expected to see those storms move in as early as 12 all the way to 3 a.m. And tornado threat's a little bit higher in the Logan County area. But damaging wind still remains the number one threat. But the tornado threat will definitely be a little bit higher there in Logan County. All right, folks, so I'm going to end this session right now. Again, I'm going to be watching things closely. Going to try to get at least one more power nap in before we're in it for the long haul tonight. So we will be live here continuous. As soon as these storms start breaking out over here in Western Kentucky, we will go live, and we will stay live until we don't think it's necessary anymore. So real quickly, let me pull up the radar. I'll show you guys the radar here real quickly. Let me get the warnings back on. Turn on all my radar capabilities. So again, we'll zoom out here. Nothing really going on except with the exception of areas up here in the Louisville area. So nothing really going on over here in Paducah's area. We do have some storms starting to pop up just north of Paducah. But as far as anything down here in this neck of the woods, this is the development area that we'd be watching closely, because that would be moving into Western Kentucky. So we're going to be watching this area closely to see if we have any type of development. But as of right now, the only thing really going on is we have this severe thunderstorm warning just north of Louisville, just north of New Albany. And this is a severe thunderstorm warning with 70-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail. And that is moving off to the east. So that would eventually be moving into portions of northern Kentucky there here in the next little bit. But outside of that, again, we'll zoom out here real quickly. We'll put a motion on the radar here. And again, nothing really going on outside of that activity there in southern Indiana and just to the north of Louisville, okay? So, again, we're going to be watching things closely. Going to take a little bit of an intermission break. And then once storms start firing, we will be here firing on all cylinders to keep you guys updated with all the latest information. So, please stay weather aware. We will be posting updates as needed. And then, like I said, once the warnings start going out, we'll be live here continuous until those warnings and the threat is over. So I'll be talking to you guys soon. Enjoy the next couple hours before we get busy, but please stay weather aware and enjoy what you can of the afternoon before these storms start firing up. So I will